Hello there, I'm Pranay, your guide on this journey of introspection and self-discovery. Today, we are embarking on a journey to understand spirituality. But what does spirituality mean, really? It's a broad concept with room for many perspectives. However, it usually involves a sense of connection to something bigger than yourself. It's like a universal human experience, something that touches all of us. Spirituality can be as unique as fingerprints. It can be found in stillness, in acts of kindness, in the beauty of nature, in creative expressions, and even in the pursuit of knowledge. It's not confined within the walls of religious institutions. Rather, it's a flight into the unknown that allows your soul to breathe. Let me tell you a story so you understand where I'm coming from. Now, we're going back to when I was a little boy. Imagine a countryside in southern India, a house with a big family, the old and the young living together in some sort of strange synchronicity. And here you are, like you're woken up from a dream. I remember we had a dog called Tipu, a German Shepherd. And me and Tipu, we shared a bond. It was like when I pet him, moving my hands over his face, he squealed in happiness. He would feel the love from my heart pouring into his. He knew I cared for him and I was his friend. I mean, this is strange, right? When you think from a very objective point of view. Considering Tipu don't talk human language. How did he understand that I loved him, that I was his friend? There was something universal that helped me communicate with this animal without language. Now that is where I came in contact with the concept of spirituality. I thought that the world is more than me, more than Tipu, more than the wise and the wild who lived here before. Somehow, we are connected to this, a sort of unexplainable chain of emotions and actions. When my grandfather married my grandmother and made 7 children, then one of them, my father, married my mother and I was born. At the same time, Tipu's grandparents and his parents met somewhere and conceived him, and he was born as well. And now, both of us are in each other's company at the exact point in time. How crazy is that? Think about it. The odds of that happening, but still it happened for whatever reason. If you start really thinking about where you are in life, how you ended up there, and if you question it with this sort of curiosity, you would end up with this strange feeling that there are things greater than us happening beyond our little precious lives. And somehow, we have the ability to shape not just our lives, but others too. This is an easy way to define something as complex as spirituality. But the story is not over yet. When I was growing up, I understood the place where I was destined to be born had its own rules, which people made before I was born. Now, this included what religion to follow, what to wear, what to eat, what haircut to get, what to study, and what not to study. You name it, it was there, a rule. It was as if generations before me have thought about every single scenario and had the perfect rule to make sure your life is streamlined into some sort of, how do we put it, a life worth living. But now, we have a problem. For a child who is born connected to this world, this was a sort of chain on his feet. He was not allowed to move, he was not allowed to be what he wants to be. Instead, he was asked to behave in a way that pleases the crowd. Gradually, the child moves away from the beauty of the flowers and how it feels to pet a dog, to studying maths and science to get a job. At some point, you forget the magical nature of this world and just focus on the rules of the men before you. You get into that rat race to get better grades, to get better jobs, to get more money to buy things that you don't need. You work in places and with people you hate, slowly die, waiting for the promised wonderful life to arrive. And then it hits you. You see through all this bullshit, our shared ignorance, that all these rules and structures made are nothing but cages created by men and women like you, who had no idea what they were doing, just like us. But by that time, you would have a child, a mortgage to pay, and the back pain from overwork. Now you need help. You're tired. You don't see a point in all this. And that is when you go back and look for your own answers through the ways you think is right. The more you walk on that path, you would see that all of us are in this together. It was never about you, about me. It was never about the job or the money or that fancy new MacBook that you just got. That is when you wake up. That is what they call a spiritual awakening. Now to conclude, spirituality can be understood in various ways, depending on cultural and personal interpretations. Some people find spirituality through religious practices, such as prayer or meditation, while others find it through non-religious means, like mindfulness, connection to the nature, and creative expressions. However you find it, I want you to know it is where you would find the answers to some of our existential questions about the meaning of life and the nature of existence. Spirituality is a quest for wholeness. As we part ways today, remember that in this grand universe, you are not alone. We are all stardust, connected in ways we can't even fathom. This is Pranay, signing off until our next cosmic journey. Until then, stay curious, stay open, stay connected.